traffic and if it's a tie-up at the Bay Bridge Toll Plaza all the way back to the maze, and if it extends even further, then my other alternate way to go is take Golden Gate Bridge.
Yeah. Oh,
which
yeah.
I don't really care for because the toll is it's too high to cross it. But coming back, I'll take it. But it's just going down. And if I did that, it's really expensive. So,
oh, yeah.
Because every year it goes up. So.
Not every year.
You gotta go meet your friend, huh?
Oh, no, I work with the other person.
That's what I meant.
Yeah, no, I have to. Yeah, I have to be there by 4, and
well, you'll make it because it's only.
It takes me pretty long to get down there.
2:30, you'll make it.
No, with school, there's always a lot of traffic heading down there. I can't really play with that, but especially schools out here, schools get out really early too, so it's all that extra traffic. So it's kind of hard to, on that part too. It's like I have to kind of like avoid all the traffic. It's a lot of stop and go getting up here too in the morning, so it's really like no matter how early I leave, it still takes me a long time. Yeah.
Because I have to go next Thursday. We can open a qualified home IRA account while supplies last. And don't
all
get back till like after.
We'll get a free Ronald
By the
Reagan
time I leave the city, it's 12, and then time I get on the bridge and cross it, after 12, and then time I stop for lunch, it'd be after like 1 o'clock. I can meet him at the theater after that. So.
Oh yeah.
But
no.
Is back already?
In the heart of Death Valley National Park.
Did you go? You had to go to the store, right?
No. Visit Oasis at deathvalley.com.
Oh, okay.
Canada.
Oh, you had a dog? Oh, okay. I almost thought that it was my sister Shannon coming over here in that car. So she has that same car, but not a hybrid, but that same car.
In this week's Marketers Report, we learn about the value of local influencers in uncertain times. From Allison
I'm trying to think either, but
the economy is tough for everyone.
He just comes with me for 4, 5, 6 hours. He has to do all the way down in Vallejo, which is pretty.
Yeah, I hate traffic both ways. I really can't. Don't slam the door. Fucking stop it.
Major city public school system announces schools must now consider race and gender identity when disciplining students.
On the door.
Now back to Sean Hannity on Talk 650 KSTE. Stations, trusted influencers, and the insights and
there we go.
Not just a media company.
Oh boy, I like to waste my time. Here comes another rich snob. Almost hit my car from behind. Damn, I put the damn trash cans too close. Damn, they really need to work on that.
Here's an iHeartRadio podcast preview.
Here at Dateline, we're used to spending months or even years pursuing a story. We've learned a lot along the way. So we thought we'd share and let you in on a few things. A friend of mine who's a homicide detective says all murders can be chalked up to either love, money, or pride. And this mystery would be no exception. Was it love?
I think we were head over heels for one another.
Money.
Over the years, he had accumulated hundreds of thousands of dollars in his account.
He didn't miss an angle, did he? No, sir. There was a pattern. Or pride.
It's just a man's pride being walked all over. That was his ego that she stepped all over.
This is a tale so twisted, it would take not just one murder, but 2 for the killer's motive to come to light. I'm Josh Mankiewicz. I've been reporting here on Dateline for more than 25 years. And this is Motive for Murder, a new podcast from Dateline.
Listen and follow this podcast for free on the iHeartRadio app. #1 for music, radio, and podcasts all in one.
to the top of the hour. Thank you for being with us. Here's our toll-free number. It is 800-941-SEAN if you want to be a part of the program. Just about, 3 hours and 25 minutes from right about now, we will be starting our town hall. We're in Davenport, Iowa, with former President Donald Trump. Looking forward to seeing many of you tonight. And tickets are free, by the way, Hannity.com. If you're in New York, we have audience shows tomorrow and Thursday night. Again, tickets are free. You know, does anyone believe me when I say, oh no, they're $1 million a piece? I hope people figure out that's a joke. If you can't figure out that's a joke, you cannot be a listener to the show. I don't know, certain basic fundamentals have to apply to qualify for listening. Just kidding. Anyway, we're in beautiful Davenport. We're having a great time. Everybody we've met here, it could not be nicer. I mean, it's so refreshing whenever you get out of New York, how much nicer people are in the country. It just, I can't explain it. Now, New York, they're just not that nice. Now, my friends are nice. The people that I work with are nice. Linda has her days, but, you know, putting that little aspect of it aside.
But the rest of the country doesn't need to ride the subway. The rest of the country doesn't
That's
need
true.
to, you know, climb
I wouldn't want to ride the subway with you, to be honest. You look so mean down there.
Listen, let me tell you something. That face has saved me a lot of problems. Because they look around the subway, they look for who's on their phone, who's not paying attention, and then they see me. And I'm eyes wide open, I'm looking right back at them. I'm like, go ahead. Let's make this interesting.
They see me. And by the way, Linda looked at the temperature in Iowa today and said, I think Blair's going to go today. And sweet baby
That's exactly
James.
Right. I was like, I'm out.
By the way, and I said, what did I say? I said, no problem. I said, you never have to travel ever. You got a beautiful 7-year-old son. He's like my adopted nephew. Love Liam. Nobody's bought him more trains. Nobody bought him more choo-choo trains than Uncle Sean, I'll tell you that.
I've been able to manage being a good mom and a good employee, so I think I'm doing okay. Yeah.
I'm not Blair, am I complaining? What did I say?
He's not.
Didn't I say over and over again, I'm good, I'm glad you stayed home.
So this is what happens when you two travel alone? You start to side with one another? Because that's a problem. That's not going to be allowed.
Linda, help.
Linda,
help with it.
Help with what? I'm being nice. You know what Linda can't handle is when I'm nice. Why can't you just accept that, you know, we're perfectly happy?
Because I don't want the audience to think that as a working mom, I'm unable to balance. While I appreciate you
sound like a California snowflake right now.
First of all, I don't drink cocoa or color anymore, so that's not even an option. Second of all,
she drinks that disgusting
I drink green machine juice.
Projectile vomit puke shake of yours.
Well, yeah, sometimes you need to do it on, you know.
Yeah. Now, sometimes I've lived my whole life without that puke green vomit, whatever you.
But now you're eating kale and broccoli, so you're dang close.
I don't eat kale. I will eat broccoli.
You're so full of crap. You totally do. I've seen you eat kale chips. Go ahead, think about it, because you don't.
That on me, because I have no recollection of eating a kale chip.
And I told you, do not eat that on an airplane. Weird things happen. It's not.
If I would have known, I wouldn't have touched it. I bet you I didn't like it, did I?
You said it was better than you thought and needed salt. But that's your
everything
answer to
needs
most things. Most
The
things.
ammo's in short supply, and you might not know that you can train without ammunition in the privacy of your own home thanks to the incredible military-grade technology known as Mantis X. As a matter of fact, all the best shooters in the world do the majority of their training with doing dry-fire practice at home. Now, Mantis X, their firearm training system, is no ammo. It's an all-electronic way to practice and prove your shooting accuracy. You simply attach it to your firearm like a weapon light, you connect it to your phone, and you are good to go. Mantis X gives you data-driven, real-time feedback on your technique, guides you through drills and courses. 94% of shooters will improve within 20 minutes using Mantis X. Let me add, it's fun to use. It really is. Mantis X, used by the Marine Corps, Army, Special Forces, military-grade technology, and the best part, at an affordable price. Linda couldn't hit the side of a barn in Iowa if she tried when she started.
Those are big barns.
Those are big barns. And the point is that you scored an 8 or a 9 the first time you tried Mantis X. I've never thought that low a score was possible. But she has, to her credit, been practicing and now has even gotten up to the 90s. You've never gotten 100 yet, have you?
I haven't, but I think, you know, the beauty of it is you can practice every day, not waste ammo,
great. Listen to this.
Do you think the representative needs to clarify her remarks? So look, I'm going to let the representative speak for herself. I just can't speak for her. I speak for the President of the United States. I am the White House press secretary, obviously, so that's who I speak for. And what I can say, and I said this in Farrah's question when I answered it, which is, when it comes to rape, that's reprehensible. When it comes to using rape as a weapon of war, that's reprehensible. We are very, very clear about denouncing Hamas's actions, and that's what the President has been clear about. That's as an administration more broadly. We're going to continue.
Do you think because of her perch, though, as a progressive leader, she should clarify her remarks?
I speak for the President. She has to speak for herself. We have been very, very clear. Very clear. Anyway, the word progressive is a misnomer.
Well, she's the chair of the progressive committee.
Yeah, okay, now, if it was about MAGA Republicans, I guarantee Colleen Jean-Pierre would have a lot more to say. Let's go to Marshall. He's in South Carolina next. 800-941-SEAN, our number, as we continue from Davenport, Iowa. What's going on? How are you, Marshall? Glad you called.
Good afternoon, Sean. Thanks for taking the call. I'm a fan when I listen, and I just had a question. I heard you mentioning on the radio yesterday that no one could, assume to know the outcome of an election. Now, not knowing the outcome, but wanting to get some insight on what the lead up to the election is. In small community circles, unaligned circles, no real party affiliation, the one that I've heard is that how does President Trump's name get so much airplay in the conversation at this time with party posturing leading up to caucuses and debates and things of the sort? How does he survive legal hurdles and keep his momentum leading up to any election?
Listen, you're raising questions that I can't answer, and I don't think anybody else can answer either. I give you my best educated guess, but we won't know. In 11 months from now, which is when we'll be voting, we don't know what the driving issues will be. What state will the economy be in? What state will Joe Biden's mind be in? Will Joe Biden even be on the ticket at that point? What impact will these criminal trials have on President Trump? What about the possible impeachment of Joe Biden? What impact would that have on the country? So I just think there's so many issues out there. What is going to happen on the world stage? What's going on with China? What will they do with Taiwan? What's going on with Ukraine and Russia and war in Europe? What's going on with the war in the Middle East and Israel and Hamas and maybe Hezbollah, maybe the Houthi rebels, and maybe Iran at some point. God only knows what they're capable of doing. So I don't think I can intelligently really give you an answer except to say that, these are times unlike any I've ever seen before. I've been telling friends, and I mean it, and I know in past elections I've said it, so maybe it sounds like, I just say it every election season. I have never felt this concerned about the future direction of our country. I can tell you that. That is a fact. I have never in my life felt this concern about the world and what's going on in the world either. This is what the world looks like when America abdicates its role on the world stage as the world's leader. This is what it looks like. The economy, I worry about the 60+% of Americans living paycheck to paycheck, and of that 60 some odd percent, a significant portion of people, you know what, they're having to borrow money just to get bare necessities. They're building up credit card debt that I don't think they're ever going to be able to pay back, or cashing in pensions that, with massive penalties just to make ends meet every month. I don't know when the housing market comes back. I don't know the impact on inflation and interest rates. I mean, these are all things that concern me, and maybe one of the best things I think that God did for me in my life is for 20 years of my life, I did real work. I won't regurgitate every job I had, but 10 years in the restaurant business, 10 years in the construction business, and I'm just telling you that I know what it's like to live paycheck to paycheck, and it kind of sucks. There's a lot of pressure on you, and to have that pressure when you have a family, makes it 10 times harder, 1,000 times harder. Because now you have to take care of other people, and that's what people are living through. Look, I live in a fairly, I'd say, upper middle class, affluent town, and I can tell you that two of my best friends, they donate their time and they help out at the local food pantry. And I always tell get in trouble or you need more money and you're really desperate, I said, anytime you get to that point, just come to me. And they have come to me a number of times, by the way, and which I want them to do. And, I went down one time and I just could not believe the sheer number of people that were online just to get the bare necessities, just to get food. Now, in one case, you'd see people that had actually pretty nice cars. And you'd see in some cases, and you would think, well, they must be taking advantage. They weren't taking advantage. But what had happened is they assumed things would stay the same. They assumed that they'd be able to afford their home, their insurance, the school for their kids, clothes for their kids, their car payment. They were making ends meet. They were probably even saving a little bit of money. But Joe's economy has sent them reeling to a point they can't meet a budget any longer. Now, will a lot of those people end up probably selling those cars and buying cheaper cars? Yeah. But they weren't taking advantage of anybody. They're desperate. And I'm hearing that, or anecdotes like that from friends all around the country. So there's so much that'll happen between now and then, and I'll tell you that. It's pretty scary. Anyway, I appreciate the call, Marshall. God bless you, buddy. Let's see what happens. Let's say hi to John in Virginia, the Commonwealth of Virginia. John, hi. How are you? Glad you called.
Hey, John. How you doing?
Welcome to Davenport. What's going on?
Alright, so I just wanted to know your opinion on Trump's campaign tactic of avoiding the RNC debates, and do you think it would benefit him come 2024 during the elections?
Look, there's two schools of thought. If I put on what I would prefer to watch, of course I'd rather watch Donald Trump. That debate's going to be a hell of a lot more interesting if he's there. Do I think if I was his political advisors and I'm looking at polls one after another that show him with a significant lead, do I think the advice that I would give him would be, yeah, go throw yourself in the arena so they can beat the crap out of you for an hour and a half, 2 hours, and not expect that, what's the upside for him? Always got to ask, upside, downside. What is the upside for him to show up? Tell me.
Well, honestly, he's been doing really good, to be honest with you. He's up in the polls, and, as they say, the more you attack Donald Trump, the stronger he seems to get. Well, it seems like he's been holding up pretty well without going into the debates. It seems like it wouldn't do him any good to show up.
Listen, he is defied, as I've said many times, he defies all conventional political gravity. If a candidate got arrested, indicted, arraigned, you would think their poll numbers go down. Nope, his go up. He made a comment recently, it was kind of glib, and he's like, I'm just one arrest short of being guaranteed victory in November. It's kind of funny. 800-941-SEAN is our number. Let's say hi to Tony in California. Tony, how are you?
Hey, Sean, can you hear me?
I can hear you. What's going on? Welcome to Davenport, Iowa.
First of all, I've been listening to you forever.
Thank you.
The debate the other night cracked me up.